formation, empty backfield on 3rd and 5 for Tagovailoa. They're pressuring him again. Now he has to scramble around. He's going to try to run and slide.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louis T. Welcome to the 2020 NFL Draft Prospects 101 series, your guide to some of the biggest and hottest names of the 2020 NFL Draft. We're talking quarterbacks. And the next guy we're going to talk about is someone that just a season ago seemed like the front runner to be the number one pick in the NFL Draft in 2020. And it's amazing how we do this. And I always say when a guy bursts onto the scene so early in his career and everyone is waiting for that guy to become eligible for the draft, generally that guy isn't the same player that you were excited about 2 years ago by the time he's ready to be drafted. And I think if not for injury, maybe Tua Tagovailoa is the number one pick in this draft, but that's debatable now that Joe Burrow has burst onto the scene in the manner in which he has. However, it would have been one hell of a debate to have. It would have been reminiscent of Robert Griffin III versus Andrew Luck or Jameis Winston versus Marcus Mariota, but that ship has sailed. Tua Tagovailoa has had some things transpire that has set him back in his process, but this is a guy that is so talented. At 6'1", 218 pounds, Tua Tagovailoa is the real deal at the quarterback position. And if healthy, he's going to be a quarterback that potentially could be one of the new stars of the league as we continue to usher out some of the aging veterans at the quarterback position. This guy can play it at a very high level, and we saw it right away in his first year at Alabama. We know about the championship game versus Georgia and the epic touchdown throw in overtime to win the game. And we've seen him progress into a machine at Bama with all the talent around him. But we've also seen a guy that hasn't been able to stay healthy of recent note. And so that's something to talk about. But when you just turn on the tape and watch what this guy has to offer and what he brings to the table, it's hard to deny the fact that this is one of the most talented players in this draft class. So let's take a look at his strengths, and we'll talk about Tua and what he brings to the table. This is a guy that had a 33/3 touchdown to interception ratio, a guy that had a 71 completion percentage for over 2,800 yards in 2019. Season was cut short due to injury. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But when you talk about his overall body of work, this is a 70% completion percentage guy over the life of his career at Bama. All right, this is a guy that had 76 touchdowns over 9 interceptions over the last 2 seasons. Think about that for a second. 76 over 9. Now, it's not quite Joe Burrow's 60 over 6, but it's damn close, okay? I mean, it's not 10-1, but that's pretty damn good for 2 seasons in the SEC, I might add, and throw in 7 rushing touchdowns to boot. So this is a guy uber talented. We'll go through his strengths. The ones you see in white are the ones we're not going to show film on, but just things we need to touch on and can continue to move forward. And the ones in red are the ones we're going to take a look at some film with. So athleticism, I showed it on the clip coming in, and that was on a surgically repaired ankle. And that wasn't but a week or two removed or a few weeks removed from surgery. So this is a guy that's pretty nimble on his feet. Arm strength, I think he is one of the stronger armed quarterbacks in this draft. There are a number of guys with cannons in this draft, and I think Tua is right there with most of those guys in this draft. This is something that he is very unique at, and it's being left-handed. And, you know, that's something that you take for granted, but having watched the NFL very closely for over 2.5 decades now, to see the stretch we've had with no left-handed quarterbacks is amazing. You went from watching, football growing up, seeing guys like Boomer Esiason and Steve Young and Jim McMahon and guys like that who were left-handed tossers of the football, to now having no one in the league. Even Michael Vick was pretty much the last left-handed thrower of the football that we've really seen in this league. And so to have a guy come in the league, be left-handed, it's going to be different. It's almost like guarding a guy that is left-handed in the NBA. It's a little bit different because you're so used to seeing guys coming from the right side, and here's a guy running his bootleg and doing it to the opposite side of the field. And so the routes are breaking the opposite direction, and you're just not accustomed to those things. So being left-handed, I think, will be an advantage for Tua Tagovailoa at the next level. Toughness, look, you can't say enough about this guy's toughness. I just showed you the clip of him running versus LSU. Again, you're talking about a matter of a month to weeks after surgery on your ankle, and you're back out on the football field. So this is a guy that has shown toughness throughout his career, been willing to put his body on the line for his team. Love his toughness, love what he brings to the table. He's a winner. We saw it right off the bat in the national championship game in 2018. We saw it throughout the 2018 season, regular season itself, into 2019. Didn't win the national championship in 2019, but that team was damn good. And they were well on their way to making some noise in 2019 before the injuries. And so we'll see what happens. But one thing's for sure, this is a guy that is a winner. And I also want to throw in that he has the intangibles. You know, he's got the leadership qualities. He's got the ability to win games and will himself through injury. He just has that it factor that guys rally around. And you listen to his coach, Nick Saban, talk about him and the genuineness of Tua Tagovailoa. He just has some redeeming qualities that draws people in, and he's got those intangibles that you're looking for from a leader of men. And so I think that's something else you have to add in with Tua Tagovailoa. So with that being said, let's get to the first thing I want to take a look at, and that's his pinpoint accuracy. And to me, his accuracy is what sets him apart from a lot of players in this draft. There are guys that can throw it, but I don't think there are any guys in this particular draft that can throw it as accurately as Tua. So let's take a look here. We start with, we go back to 2018 versus Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl. Here, great timing and rhythm off the RPO. He throws a dart here to Devontae Smith, who, because the ball is thrown in timing and rhythm of the play and in an accurate manner, he's able to catch the football without breaking stride and able to get yards after the catch. You'll get a better look at it here. RPO carries out the fake, sucks the defense in. Look where that football is, guys. Look where that football is. Out in front of his receiver, doesn't have to break stride. It's perfectly thrown, and now he can go off to the races. So that's what you're looking for when you talk about accuracy. That's what you get from Tua Tagovailoa. So here, you're against Clemson still Oklahoma national champion or bowl game, And here's a fade route to the corner of the end zone. It's a corner route, really, to Henry Ruggs. And look where that football is. I mean, the defender is right there. All right. I mean, you can't really play that any better and not come away with a knockaway or an interception or something like that. I mean, his hand is literally in between Henry Ruggs' hands. And because the football is thrown so perfectly, it ends up being a touchdown. I mean, that's as good as it gets right there. Now we're against Clemson in the national championship game from 2018 season into 2019. And in this play here, again, outstanding timing and rhythm of the play. Look, the receiver's head's not even whipped around in this route. Look at where that ball's out. He turns around and the ball's already on him. That's how you're supposed to do it. That's how you practice it. That's how it's supposed to be done. Head whips around, ball already there. Great timing and rhythm and accurate throw by Tua there. Here against South Carolina in 2019, look at this throw to Henry Ruggs. This is a touchdown because Henry Ruggs, one, is ridiculously fast, as we saw at the combine, but two, because Tua put it in a spot where this guy didn't have to break stride. All right, he was able to catch it. He was already in third gear when he caught the football, and because he didn't have to decelerate, he was able to accelerate to fifth gear. No one was going to catch him. You see where that football is? Easy catch, continue to run. That's how you get yards after the catch. This next play is against LSU in 2019. 3rd and 19. You see where this game is. All right, 39-27. It's 3rd and 19, folks. This could get out of control if you don't convert this. And Tua throws a dart to Henry Ruggs to convert. And I want you to watch this play again. Watch the way he climbs the pocket. I think Tua climbs the pocket so beautifully. I don't think there's another quarterback in this draft that climbs the pocket as effortlessly and as seamlessly as Tua Tagovailoa does. And so that's the kind of play that makes you just say, wow. This next play versus LSU in 2019, I just want to get a quick game check, okay? It's 4th and 2. There's 5:37 left in the game. You're going to get another look at this. It's 39-27. All right, ball game if you don't complete this. Bama needs this or it's over. Watch this clutch throw by Tua. Look where this football is. Come on, man. Stop. Stop it. That throw with the game on the line, in that spot, away from the defender, outside shoulder, only his guy can get to it. I mean, really, seriously, what are we talking about here, folks? So that's just a little sneak peek of his pinpoint accuracy. But this is, to me, what separates him in this draft. No one in this draft does it better than Tua Tagovailoa in terms of deep ball accuracy. His deep ball accuracy, and you know, I've always said what separates the good from the great in the NFL is your ability to hit the deep ball. That's what changes games. That's what breaks backs. That's what separates the mediocre from the good from the great. The mediocres generally miss the deep ball. They miss opportunities to make big plays because you don't get those opportunities very often in the NFL. So when they come, you got to hit them. And sometimes you don't need a ton of space. You just need to be able to get the football there. No one does it better in this draft than Tua Tagovailoa. Let's take a look at his deep ball accuracy. So here against Oklahoma in 2018 in the Orange Bowl, look at this delicious dime, guys. 43 air yards on this play in between two defenders, double coverage. This is ridiculous. That throw is actually sickening, all right? To even have the guts of a burglar to throw it and then to get it in there and get it there before the safety joins the party. Look at this feathery, soft drugstore cotton throw, guys. Look where that is. The safety wants to party, but it's too late. He showed up too late. Ball's already there. The receiver already has it. It's on the money. There's nothing he can do about it. It's a catch. That's 43 air yards, guys. All right, so this next play against Oklahoma again, and all I could write down in my notes was, hey, Tua, stop playing, bruh. This is dumb. First of all, it's not a great route by his receiver because he didn't give Tua enough space to throw this football in there. Yet Tua says, nah, I'm good. Don't worry about it. Look at where this football is. I mean, and it ended up not being a catch because Jerry Jeudy wasn't able to corral it before he went out of bounds. But that is a ridiculous throw. And all I could write down in my notes was, bruh, stop playing. All right, now we go to the national championship game back in 2018 versus Clemson. And keep in mind, the possession before this, he had just thrown a pick six, which is why Clemson is up 7-0 at the time of that touchdown pass there. And so to mentally wash your mind clean of the mistake you just made and do this, and look at the way he manipulates the pocket, steps up, and delivers this throw. This is a get-back gem right here of 48 yards in the air. That is insane. You see where that ball is? And Tanner Muse, the safety, wasn't in bad position. Tua stared him down the whole time, knew his guy could beat him, and let it rip. 48 yards in the air for a touchdown. Here against LSU, beautifully thrown deep ball here. And you know what I like to say? If the defense is going to offer up free food, what do? Grab your napkin, grab your utensils, and eat. That was too easy, and you can't do that to a quarterback the caliber of Tua. He's going to make you pay. Yeah, you could flex on him after that, man. Definitely. So here against LSU, once again, this time another downtown delivery from Tua, this time 50 yards in the air. So again, this gives you a little bit of a sneak peek into his arm strength. Look at where this one is. Come on, Jerry. Catch the damn football, man. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? You're down 20. I need it. Look at where this football is. Come on, man. Stop. Tua, you're an animal. Stop, man. That's ridiculous. He couldn't have went up and handed it to him any better. Partner. I mean, that was a gorgeous throw. Again, the only guy that I think throws a better deep ball right now than Tua Tagovailoa is Russell Wilson. Seriously, that's how great his deep ball is. Again, you're down 12 with 1:31 left in the game. It's over, right? Right? LSU just scored, put the game away, right? Wrong. Look at this deep ball. On 1st and 10, the very first snap after LSU presumably put this game away, Tua does that. Okay, so again, the deep ball accuracy is ridiculous. This guy is insane. Perfectly placed atomic Tua time bomb, as I like to say. Boom. All right, so nobody does it better in college football coming into the draft than Tua Tagovailoa in terms of the deep ball. So now we get to his pocket field presence and mobility. You've seen a couple of instances already with him manipulating the pocket. I'm going to show you some more because this guy does it better than anyone in this draft. So let's take a look. All right, so here against Georgia in the SEC championship game in 2018. This was his worst game of his career, by the way. But right here, great pocket mobility exhibited. All right, steps up. All right, putting it right on the money to his tight end who decides, I don't want to catch football right now. All right, but that's not Tua's fault. All right, watch him manipulate this pocket. All right, you get a little bit of pressure from the interior. Watch Tua sidestep this guy, step up, and then reset his feet and then throw a dime, okay? That's how you do it. That's how the best in the business do it. That's how Breeze does it. That's how Brady does it. That's how Roethlisberger does it. All right, that's how the best in the business do it right there. All right, here, versus Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl in 2018, the threat of violence is very much legitimate here, folks, okay? Tua still embraces his fate to deliver the goods. You're going to get a great angle at it here. Tua knows he's going to get hit. Free hitter off the edge, takes a shot. You see that shot he got hit with? But he delivers the goods, man. Look at this shot he takes. Boom! All right, he knew he was going to get hit. Stood in there like a grown man, took it, and delivered the football. That's what you do. All right, and here versus Clemson in 2018 in the national championship game, beautiful pocket manipulation, quick reset of the feet, and then tosses a very catchable ball here to Devontae Smith. Now, you look at that pass, you say, well, that's a little off. Now you get a better look. All right, a play action fake that was worthless. Someone was off there. You get a free hitter in Cleveland Farrell coming right up the middle. Watch him step back up, reset the feet, and look what his football is. That's really catchable, man. I need it. I do all of that work to get you an opportunity. I need it. So you go from that to throwing on the move. And I talked about how Tua is a guy that manipulates the pocket, but he's not limited to just doing work from the pocket. This is a guy that can get outside the pocket and make things happen. And that's another part of the Tua Tagovailoa package, which made him so interesting and intriguing to teams looking for a quarterback. It made him so appealing is the word that I was looking for. Let's take a look at this guy on the move throwing the football. So here we're against Oklahoma in 2018 in the Orange Bowl, and off the boot, and this is the thing I love because he's left-handed, those boots are coming the opposite direction. Again, most players aren't used to boots coming at them from the left side, so it's a little different, which is why I said he's going to have a little bit of an advantage. You're not used to seeing a bunch of left-handed quarterbacks. So you get the boot here, he comes outside, and he's got all kinds of space. And then look at this accurate throw on the move. And it's kind of like a jump fadeaway pass. And that thing's accurate on the money to Jerry Jeudy, where he can catch it and now make a move and try to get up the field. All right, now we go to 2018 in the national championship game. And Tua once again on the move, throwing a back shoulder butte to his running back, Josh Jacobs here. This is gorgeous. And I think the replay is going to do it real justice because that doesn't do it real justice. This is gorgeous right here, guys. And I don't think you understand how tough of a throw this is with the defender right there in the way. There's not a big window for that football to be squeezed into. It's a great catch by Josh Jacobs, but it's an even better throw by Tua Tagovailoa on the move, no less. All right, here, Tua out of the pocket makes it look easy with this gorgeous 40-yard gem. Watch him get out of the pocket, all right, and extend the play, extend. Now he's telling the receiver, hey, go up the field. I got you, bro. I got you. And then look at the flick of the wrist here. I mean, he makes this look so easy. Man, that is a gorgeous throw. It's effortless. Again, I talked about the arm strength. He makes this look so easy. You see him get out of the pocket. Now he's pointing, telling him, hey, go. Scramble drill. Go up the field. I got you. And then look at this throw. Again, gorgeous throw, feathery soft touch right to his receiver. And Tua can do it all, man. He can do it all. And so the last thing I want to take a look at is the ability to process and progress. All right, I like to call it PMP. And it's your ability to understand what the defense is doing quickly and accurately. And also, if the defense wins initially, to know where your check down is, to know that, okay, I'm not going to force it. I'm going to find a way to get some positive yards here. A wise man once told me, you can't go broke making a profit. And so if you're looking to take a deep shot and it's not there, there's nothing wrong with a 7-yard check down. It's really not. And some guys don't understand that, but Tua does. Let's take a look. So here, National Championship game 2018 versus Clemson. Deception with his eyes here. And Tua moves the safety, which allows him to squeeze in this backside bang 8. And I love it. All right, and you're going to get a great look. Look at the safety here. All right, the safety is watching Tua's eyes, and watch Tua look him off initially. He knows he wants to come to that front side bang 8 but he looks backside initially, stares right at that safety to make him think that's where he wants to. Look at that. Look at what happens to that safety. Couple of false steps the wrong way. Now Tua is able to bang it in there, and that safety can't get there and help out. So that's a great job by Tua of being deceptive with his eyes and forcing that safety to commit to the wrong side of the field so he can hit that bang 8. Here against Tennessee in 2019, I love this play because this shows maturation. And there's a reason why Tua had only 3 interceptions in 2019 and only 6 interceptions last year. He doesn't turn it over. Watch this play. I want you to take a look at this again. This is a big play action fake deep shot. They're going double move, and they're looking to take a deep shot. Tua's going to look at 2 options down the field, realize, I don't like that look, and check it down to the back. That wasn't drawn up to be a 8-9 yard gain to the back out of the backfield. That was drawn up to be a deep shot, and Tua didn't like what he saw, and he checked it down. It's a great play there. Here, against LSU in 2019, great ball to his back with defenders back turned. Excellent 50-50 ball, okay? And really, when you look at this again, it's really a one-man show. You look backside and you look at what the receiver's doing. You look at everybody else in this play. No one else is really going out on a route here. You got the tight end on a shallow cross, but really this is a one-man show to the running back, and Tua does a great job of giving his guy a chance to go up and make a play. And so that's a beautiful ball there by Tua, recognizing he's got one-on-one with the backer that's not looking and giving this guy a chance. Here on this play, National Championship game 2017, to me, one of the greatest throws I've ever seen in college football right there. You guys know the story there. Tua looking backside, draws the safety away, and then throws it front side, almost a no-look pass of sorts. Again, with it being 2nd and 26 and in overtime, and Tua first action essentially of his freshman year, to me, that's one of the most clutch throws I've ever seen in college football. So you know the story behind that one. But we get to his weaknesses now, and obviously you start with size. I know no one's really going to talk about that, and I don't want to harp on it, but he is 6'1", 218. 6'1" is not a huge quarterback in this league, but I think we're past that now. So I don't really have to harp on that as much, because the last 2 first round or last 2 number 1 overall picks in the draft were both quarterbacks, and they were both guys south of 6'2". So at this point, I don't think it's really something we need to harp on, but it is something that we do need to mention. It does bear mentioning. But really what we want to talk about is the tunnel vision and his unnecessary sacks and chances that he takes at times. Let's start with his tunnel vision, and then we'll wrap up by talking about something that is pretty much the elephant in the room, obviously his injury concerns. But let's take a look at his tunnel vision at times. So here, you're against Georgia in the national championship, and I told you this was his worst game of his career, and it's not even close. And here you get a bad red zone interception, and you can't have these types of mistakes. And here he just doesn't see the backside safety. He's locked in on his slot receiver, never takes his eyes off of him, which draws the safety right over. I just praised Tua for his ability to take the safety away by eyeballing him and then knowing where he wants to go. Look at this safety the entire time. All right, J.R. Reed. I don't think this is J.R. Reed, but either way, look at the safety here. All right, he's eyeballing Tua, who is staring down his slot guy the entire time, and takes him straight to the ball. All right, that's just tunnel vision on the part of Tua. Here against Clemson in the national championship game, simply put, this is a poor throw, a poor decision, and it's a poor result. You get a pick 6 early in the ball game, and I really believe Tua locked in on his slot receiver once again, and it tipped off the outside corner. I really think he thought it was man, and that outside corner was playing zone, but it's because Tua was staring him down that it just gave off a tell like he's trying to come with the football out here. I honestly don't know what he was thinking there. Yeah, it's your fault. Yeah, you're bad. Definitely you're bad. And I love the fact that he was willing to own up and take responsibility because that was definitely his fault there. Here against Clemson again, misread the coverage here. And this is a severely overthrown football. And it's his second pick of the game. We've just seen both of his picks in this ball game. But this one here is, I think he just misread the coverage. Thought he had one-on-one. And what happened is, the corner on the outside was playing cover 3 deeper than the deepest, and he just fell into that route. But even if this corner is, and because the route on the outside was designed to suck up that corner on the outside, even if he doesn't come out here, this ball isn't even close to Jerry Jeudy. That's the problem I have with this pass. Is not only is it a bad decision and a bad throw, but it's not even close. You know, Jerry Jeudy couldn't even go fight for it because it wasn't close. Here against South Carolina in 2019, this is an ill-advised throw in the red zone that almost cost you points. This is LSU in 2019, right before halftime. And this is simply him not seeing the underneath backer. All right, there's an underneath dropping linebacker here in Patrick Queen that he just doesn't identify. And again, Tua being locked on to his receiver, running a dig route, and he takes the backer straight to. Watch Patrick Queen, the backer that was shadowed there and spotlighted. Watch him just read Tua's eyes. It takes him straight to the football, and he falls right underneath that route. And Tua never, ever saw him. And that's the tunnel vision that Tua can have at times where he just doesn't see other defenders who are waiting in the shadows to make him pay for a mistake. And so that's something he's going to have to clean up at the next level. This is also something that I think he needs to clean up, and I think he will. But ultimately, he will take unnecessary sacks and chances, and I think that's something that he will be able to clean up at the next level. But right now, I think it is a bit of an issue. So here against Georgia, remember, I told you this was his worst game of his career. This is an extremely unnecessary sack here, taken on 2nd and goal. All right, honestly, you start to play out at the 6. I should be having 3rd and goal from the 6, not 3rd and goal from the 17. Okay, this is a really unnecessary sack. There's nothing here. They won the snap. Okay, the fact that you were able to pump fake it, get rid of the football. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 18. That's so unnecessary. Here, another unnecessary sack taken. All right, at some point you got to acknowledge that they won this. They won this rep. They got us. All right, there's nothing. You didn't get out of there in time. Your internal clock should have went off by now, but it didn't. Get rid of the football. Not only is it a holding penalty, but you also got sacked. Now they're going to decline the penalty. That's ridiculous. Don't take that sack. Here against Georgia once again, poor decision that should have been an interception. This almost proved to be disastrous. This should have been a pick 6. He got away with an absolute no-no. There isn't a Alabama receiver in the zip code here. He's trying to throw it away, I believe, and I don't think he got enough on it, but you can't do that. Either you're going to throw it away and way out of bounds, and he's got enough arm strength to get that out of bounds, or you're going to take the sack, but you cannot do that. He was lucky that wasn't picked off. Here against South Carolina, this is an ill-advised throw in the red zone that almost cost you points in a 14-10 game. It's not like you're giving South Carolina work here. All right, South Carolina is in this ball game. You're on the road. You can't do that in the red zone. You almost cost your team an opportunity for some points. And this is the most egregious Tua throw I've ever seen. And honestly, I'd like an explanation from him. If I were sitting him down in a room, I'd need him to explain to me what he was doing here. Because I can't, I keep trying, and I keep telling myself, hey, there's a guy in the back of the end zone. That's where he was trying to go with the football. But how do you not see this? And this isn't a small guy here. This looks like a 6'3", 6'4" defender here. How do you miss this big 6'3", 245-pound guy that's standing right there? I mean, so you scramble out. Mind you, you're in the red zone now. You can't be forcing things here. I don't really know what he's doing there. I need help. Somebody help me. That's a terrible decision. That's a terrible throw. But you don't get that from Tua very often. As I mentioned, only 3 interceptions on the season, 9 for his career. If you take out the one appearance that he had in 2017 and the 2017 national championship game, look, bottom line is this is a guy that if healthy, and let's get to that final weakness, which is his health. Let's talk about that here for a second, because the reason Tua Tagovailoa isn't being discussed as the number 1 pick in this draft is because of the health concerns. That's the only reason he's not being discussed at number 1. Because if he were healthy, there'd be a healthy debate as to who is better, and you'd have people torn. And the bottom line is you can't take the risk of taking Tua number 1 overall when you've seen the ankle injuries and you're willing to overlook those. Even though there have been multiple ankle injuries with Tua, you're willing to overlook those, okay? Because the talent is just too overwhelming. But then you talk about that hip injury, and hip injuries are scary because there are times where guys don't come back or they're never the same after hip injuries. You're talking about loss of blood and things that can take place when you fracture a hip. He luckily had none of that, and he's cleared. He's going to be medically cleared. He's scheduled to be medically cleared next week. All right, literally a week from yesterday. He's scheduled to be medically cleared on March the 9th. So we're going to see what happens once he's medically cleared and if teams are then salivating over Tua Tagovailoa once again. But I can tell you this much. Injury concerns aside, this is a guy that can ball. And in this league where you got to have a quarterback, this is the type of guy that can be a franchise quarterback for many years to come if he is healthy. And that's the one thing that gives you pause with Tua Tagovailoa. But I'd be willing to roll the dice. If I'm a team in need of a quarterback, I'd be definitely willing to roll the dice because the upside here is through the roof. It just really is. So let's get to his comp. And for me, I think it's an easy one. Like I said, not many left-handers have played in the league over the last there have been no left-handed quarterbacks in the league the last 5 or 6 years. Like I said, the last guy in the league as a left-hander was Michael Vick. There was Kellen Moore, but he was trash, and I don't know if he even ever started a game for the Dallas Cowboys. I could be wrong. There was that one season where Tony Romo went down, but I think Moore went down that season as well. Either way, the last real left-handed quarterback was Michael Vick, and before him, it was Mark Brunell. And Brunell, to me, is the closest comp you get for Tua Tagovailoa. And remember what Mark Brunell was early in his career. Man, was he good early in his career coming out of Washington. So this is a guy that I think Tua Tagovailoa mirrors in his game, in his athleticism, and being left-handed too. All right, so right now I got Tua as my as a top 3 pick. That's the grade in any draft. To me, he's a top 3 pick, and I think he's going to be a top 3 pick in this draft because I think someone's going to come up to number 3 to come and get him. Right now, positionally, he's my number 2 quarterback in this draft, obviously behind Joe Burrow. And overall in this draft, I've got Tua as my number 6 player on the board. So this is a guy right now that I think is ascending, and when his health checks out, and he's medically cleared, I think you could see him ascend on people's board even more. So that's going to do it for Tua Tagovailoa in his Draft Prospects 101 breakdown. If you want more breakdowns, stay tuned in to the Louis T Network. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and look for more videos. Also, we do a live stream every Thursday night breaking down a position of the draft. This first Thursday on the Draft 101 series live, we're going to do quarterbacks. So hopefully you can join me for that. Looking forward to chopping it up with you guys and talking about the quarterback crop in the 2020 NFL Draft. I'm your man, Louis T, signing off. Remember, if it's not your man T, it's not the best NFL coverage. It could be. Until next time, you guys have a good one.
Louis T Network.